Once upon a time, in a distant future, a brilliant time traveler named Arya set out on a mission to go back in time and prevent a grave mistake from happening. She traveled back to ancient Rome, where she knew capitalism was on the brink of being invented, and sought to convince the Romans that it was a terrible idea. Arya knew that if left unchecked, capitalism would lead to the downfall of human civilization. She saw the greed, inequality, and environmental destruction that it would bring in her own time and knew she had to act fast. Arya disguised herself as a Roman citizen and made her way to the Forum, where she knew the leaders of Rome were gathering to discuss the economy. She waited for her opportunity, and when the floor was open for suggestions, she stood up and spoke out. "Listen to me, fellow Romans," she began. "I come from the future, and I bring a warning. The path you are about to take, the path of capitalism, will lead to the ruin of humanity. It will create a world of greed and inequality, where the few hold power and the many suffer." The Romans were skeptical at first, but Arya's knowledge of the future and the details she provided convinced them to listen. She explained how capitalism would lead to the exploitation of resources, the destruction of the environment, and the widening gap between the rich and the poor. The Romans were horrified by the future Arya described and decided to take her advice. They rejected capitalism and instead chose to build an economy based on fairness and sustainability. Thanks to Arya's intervention, human civilization was able to thrive and flourish for centuries to come. And she returned to her own time, proud of her mission accomplished. And so, Arya's story serves as a reminder that even small actions can have a big impact, and that we should always be mindful of the consequences of our choices. And with that, Arya bid goodnight to all and closed her eyes, content in the knowledge that she helped to change the course of history.